How are you guys? Rick here with the Ditch Pig. We've got some serious issues on the go here. As some of you know, the end of summer event with my wheeling club is Labor Day weekend or whatever. This year it was kind of a wash for us. Typically we go out, we go camping, we go wheeling. We tried to do that this year and things kind of went south. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe what's happened before I show you footage. We're kind of going to do this backwards. So this is the truck after the weekend. Just going to go through and point out a few things. Some of you may notice there is no grill. Yeah, that happened Friday night when we wheeled Salty Skull. This tie rod, whether you can see it or not, is bent. It drove in a bit. Nothing too serious, but it's definitely bent. There is a slice in this tire and it leaks. Probably can't see it yet, but you will see it because I'm pulling the tire off right now to try and get it sealed back up again, which this is not the first time this weekend I've done it. Well, as you can see, the fender's got a nice massage this weekend. This truck basically flopped 4 times over the weekend. You look at this quarter panel, it's a prime example. Woo-wee! She is stowed in. Okay, we're looking at this. That's metal on rock. We're just kind of working our way around the thing as we go. All right, before you think that that fluid is something to really worry about, it's not. Well, it is, but the bearings in the rear diff are probably getting bad and starting to heat stuff up. I know it looks like it's coming down my brake line, but it's not. It's coming out of this vent up here and then running down the brake line. It's like an automatic undercoating feature that this truck has. Yeah. If you look at this, you might notice something that is out of whack. Yeah, I only have one muffler. That happened the end of Saturday after we ran high voltage. The hanger broke off. I had that clamp on there like I mentioned in another video just to help hold the exhaust on. The rest of the exhaust broke the welds that held it on and slid out from that clamp. This is all stainless pipe like I've mentioned before. Welded with MIG 14 years ago. So all my welds are starting to crack because they're rusty and they're letting go. I thought that was what the noise was, why it was louder. It just blew a piece of that out or something. Got worse. No, it wasn't. It was the muffler exiting the chat. Okay, so on to more unfortunate circumstances that happened. Friday, the night wheeling, that was pretty much without incident, other than that's when that tire started leaking. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is my cross member. And it's all bubble gummed up there, bugger welded, because I had an opportunity to weld that when I was welding up my frame. What are you talking about? I'll get a flashlight so you guys can see that better. All right, there we go. There's the cross member all boogered up. It broke again. Wow. It didn't weld for crap. There's the frame where it broke. It is broken right down there where the C channel starts all the way up. The only part that was still intact was the top of that C channel. I'll show you the other side. It broke right here on the rivets on the inside. You couldn't tell. It must have been broke for a while, and it finally got to the point where it was starting to separate right here from the spring hanger. This was Saturday, right before we ran high voltage. We looked around, we couldn't find a welder. There's a couple people we talked to. We went to Pam's cousin's place and Murray let us use his welder. Thanks, Murray, appreciate it. So I just said fuck it and welded the hanger right to the frame to help strengthen that up. Obviously I'm gonna have to revisit this and do a better job. This is absolutely horrible, but it also held going through all high voltage plus the road, which is called Neely Road. That's where I noticed it being broke initially. We went through that 3 times in total, and it was just a complete shit storm. You'll see in the video clips, like washed out big time. That's a crazy spot to go wheeling in. So if it survived through that, it's definitely going to survive through whatever else we can throw at it. So yeah, on top of that, I got some grounds that are bad because the rock lights aren't working for crap. The reason I realized that that's the case is because when we were wheeling Salty Skull, the truck happened to hit a bump and all of a sudden the lights were super bright. So ground's bad somewhere. The truck overall has just been beat to hell. Like, look at this fender, just stowed right in. So yeah, I'm gonna get some of this taken care of, like the leaky tire. I'm gonna throw a muffler back on this thing. We did try to get a hold of Steve Aiken because that's where the muffler came off, is right at his house. He took a walk, couldn't find it. So I'm gonna have to put a different muffler on it, and I got a couple options to go. I might just put 2 cherry bombs, Or I might just put one cherry bomb on where I need a muffler for right now.
Who cares?
And do something about it later. I've been planning for a while now, a long while, to do an exhaust video on this thing. It's just happening a little sooner than what I expected. Another unfortunate incident, I had bought a new CB antenna so that I could use the radio for the weekend. And coming out through high voltage, where all the bushes are and stuff, whacked this thing off.
She gone.
There's 30 bucks down the tubes. So when I got up Saturday morning, I got up pretty early to fix some things on the truck that were an issue. We've got a horn wire that's broken off. I got to deal with that. This rabbit support broke in half. You could literally grab this and shake it. It was moving around. I put some weld on that side too. It was cracked really bad. My power steering cooler. That's aluminum. It broke the tab off that. This side's almost broken. So yeah, basically another couple good bumps and it'll just be the hoses that's holding that into place. So I think that's basically everything that happened to this thing over the weekend. Like I said, we're doing it bass backwards here. I'm filling you in on what happened after the fact, and then I'll show you the clips and footage of a few different things. I don't have everything videoed. To be honest, it was just one thing after another, and I was just trying to keep the truck rolling. We didn't camp any. We drove back and forth every night. We just went out wheeling and broke the truck. It was still fun though. Okay, so that's the spot on the tire where the slice was. I just took and shoved a couple tire plugs in there and melted them and then smoothed it over to make a patch for it. I'm hoping that it holds. I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping. So basically I'm just looking to get that tied over until I can pull the bead lock off, and I'll get in there and I'll put a patch on the inside of it. It was just a slow leak, but yeah, if it set overnight, I was losing like 5-6 PSI from it. All right, you guys, I'm back at it. Just went in, had supper, and then ran the kids home to their mom's place. Came back and hitting it again to get this exhaust buttoned up so that I can drive this thing tomorrow. So this is what I decided to do. I'm gonna use one of the cherry bombs off of the old exhaust that was on the Pig before I switched it to Flowmaster. I have a couple of these that I got for doing exhaust work. So I just welded one of those right to this Red Bullet cherry bomb, whatever you wanna call it. And that 2.5 on the truck will slide right into that perfect. I'll put a exhaust clamp on it. Done. Also, exhaust clamp on this end with the new hanger. I just got to cut this to length, tighten that up, and we'll be running one cherry bomb and one Flowmaster 40 series until I get the opportunity to put the other cherry bomb on. I think I'm going to switch them both back to cherry bombs where I don't have that other Flowmaster. I do have this one, and I assume that's what that muffler is some kind of a Flowmaster, but it's got an inlet and then 2 outlets, so that wouldn't work exactly how I wanted. So I just decided to go with the cherry bomb for now. So I'll slide that on, clamp it on there, and should be good to go. And there we have it. One cherry bomb with one Flowmaster. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this video. We got her back up and operational again anyway. I'm tired and filthy, I need a shower. But do me a favor, if you followed along this long in this video, hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. Hell, even if you didn't like the content, hit that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever turns your crank. And we'll see you in the next video.